your automatic transfer switch work, you have to have both tanks on. Then we'll automatically switch from one tank to the other. Not a good idea.
I was going to say, does it default to a tank?
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
One tank on, one tank off.
I was going to say,
that way you manually have to flip this thing and go to the other tank. That way you'll know when one tank is out. If you leave it in the automatic setting, it will always find out when you're out of propane when both tanks are out. Whichever way this is facing to is the tank you're on.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Another way to know how much propane is in your tank, pour boiling hot water of your tank and run your hand down your tank, and where it's ice cold is where you have propane. Okay? Does that make sense for you?
Yep. Now these are empty, correct?
No, they're full.
Are they full?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can't go by that sound thing.
Okay.
They'll never work by sound. When you pour boiling hot water and run your hand down it, it's right about here. You can feel it a little bit. If you're good at it, I can feel it. It's right about there. They're only ever filled at 80% mark.
Right.
Okay? Does that make sense for you?
Yep, absolutely.
This down here is your battery. Let's talk about battery power. A lot of people have goofy ideas. They think they understand how their power goes through their unit. Your power always comes in from your 110 source, either a generator or shore power. It makes no difference where it comes from. 110 goes to where it needs to go in the coach. 110 always goes to your converter. Your converter in every coach always does the same thing. Always takes 110, turns it into 12 volts, charges the house battery. From the house battery back to the coach. Battery is always in the loop. The reason the battery's in the loop is because your converter can put out anywhere from 14 volts to 9 volts. Your battery always cleans it up so everything in the coach always sees a happy 12 volts. Nothing wants to see 14 volts or 9 volts. We'll go over this real quickly. Your air conditioner, your refrigerator works gas or electric, but the brains always controlling it are always 12 volts.
Okay.
The furnace in here is 100% 12 volts. It needs no 110 whatsoever. It's gas fired and 12 volt fan motor.
So the refrigerator will work off the battery?
To a certain extent. Brain power.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. All right.
Works gas or electric, but the brains always controlling it are always 12 volts.
But anytime you're not hooked to electric,
It goes to gas.
it goes to gas.
But the brains always controlling it are always 12
Through the
volts.
converter. Gotcha.
Water heater can work gas or electric. Brains controlling it are always 12 volts. Here's the part that people make major mistakes with. Your air conditioner has to have 110, but the brains controlling it are always 12 volts. The reason I go over this very extensively, and you'll understand it in a second, is because people live in their fifth wheel or their RV full time and they forget all about their house battery. Then they're trying to show voltage to a dead house battery. By shoving voltage to a dead house battery, that air conditioner or the brains or anything else can say, I see 14 volts or 9 volts. I don't know what to do with this. And it shuts off. The rule with every RV is always happy battery, happy RV. Unhappy battery, unhappy RV. So those people would call a mobile service out and say, hey, my air conditioner's not working. They find out the air conditioner's working fine, but the brain saw 9 volts. And it said, I don't know what to do with it. And it shut off. You want to check the water level in your house battery once every couple months or so. You should add distilled water. I would rather have you add water at the moment than not add water at all. It's more important that you add water when you see it than go to Walmart and saying, what are we supposed to get? I don't know. And then you forgot all about water. If you're going to put this unit in storage, always disconnect the negative side of the battery. There are things in here that can that will run your battery down if you're going to put it in storage and not use it. We'll talk about it.
What if we have electric?
If you're hooked up all the time, you're okay.
Just as long as it's hooked up, don't get disconnected.
Right. But if you're not hooked up and you're putting it in storage and leaving it alone and not doing anything with it, disconnect the negative side of the battery. Okay?
Does it charge off the truck?
Yes. While you're charging, when you're connected to your truck, you're charging house battery. While you're plugged into shore power, you're charging house battery. I was going to get there. The rule every RV, again, happy battery, happy RV. Like being married. She's happy, you're happy.
I'm happy.
She's unhappy. Guess who's unhappy? So next time you can't remember something, you're not having CRS anymore. You're just running on low voltage. Okay?
Right.
Down here in the corner, there's a little 30 amp fuse. If you find nothing's working or your jack is not working up front here, before you panic, check that little 30 amp fuse. It's a regular automotive fuse. Okay? Then you can carry extra fuses if you want. Then you'll be like the rest of us. You put them all in some place and you go, where did I put those? I know I put them someplace safe where I remember. Right. And then you go to Walmart and buy more, okay? Your jack is here. Inside your coach, we'll find it. It's on one of your storage facility. There's a handle here if you had to do this manual labor, okay? Does that make sense for you?
Yep.
We'll go over your hitch when Kevin brings your truck.
You have to take the cover off? Oh,
no,
there it is right there.
rubber. Okay?
Got it.
Up and down. Okay? All right? We'll explain the hitch when Kevin gets over here. All right?
Now, right now, it's hooked to electric, right? Is that working off of that, or is it working off? I mean, as long as there's battery power, this will work.
Okay? In here, plain old storage. Okay? These are your stabilizer jacks. They can crank down. Your crank is on the other side. We'll show you where it is. You can put it any place you want. They're just meant for stabilizing your coach. They're not going to level it. You'll have to level your coach with your wheels from side to side first. What I carry in my coach, I don't have those little stick-on things. Everybody asks me about those. They're never accurate. I carry a little 4-foot level, put it on the floor. If I'm level side to side, good. Then you do your front to rear with your jack. But your stabilizer jacks are the last thing to go down after you've leveled, and first thing to go up before you hook onto your truck. Because when you hook onto your truck, because you have the weight distribution thing, you're going to raise your tongue all the way up to get onto your truck and do it. If you raise your tongue all the way up, you've bent those. So they're the first thing to go down, last thing to go down, first thing to go up before you hook to your truck. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay?
I learned that the hard way.
You did?
Yes.
Your furnace is here. I'll show you a picture of one inside. You really want to get a mud dauber screen for it. It's a little screen that looks like a little strainer.
Yeah.
It goes right over top of it. It's very simple to put on. You do not need to remove any tool in here. It holds on with a screen. All you do is take the little screen spring, flip it to the inside of that little cup. Take the little goofy tool that they give you, go through the screen, go through that little barrel of the spring, and there's a J-hook left.
Right.
And all it does is clip onto there. That's all it does. It stays right there. It's a one-time deal. Put it on. You're done with it. Okay.
That's the only hole that needs one.
Okay. Your freshwater intake here for boondocking. New term for you. Boondocking means when you're on your own.
Right.
No water, no sewer hookup, no nothing, no electric.
Dry camping, same thing?
Dry camping.
That's same, okay.
Most people call it boondocking.
Gotcha.
Okay? You can boondock at a lot of different places. You can boondock at Walmart. The secret to boondocking at Walmart is go in and ask the manager if it's okay. Sometimes there's a town ordinance. You can boondock at Cracker Barrels. The secret to boondocking at Cracker Barrels is go to the far side, get up early in the morning, eat breakfast, and leave. Especially on a Sunday, you might be having lunch.
Yeah.
Okay? You can also boondock at 90% of your casinos across the country, except Hard Rock, because there's no parking there to begin with. And you can also look up on your cell phone now, because everybody's got Google on their phone, Bureau of Land Management. There are places across the country that Bureau of Land Management owns. You can boondock out there.
Awesome.
We did that at Lake Tahoe. Okay? Your low point drain for draining this freshwater tank is down underneath here. So if you want to drain your fresh water, you can drain it. I only travel with 1/3 water. There's no sense carrying around 40 gallons of water just to move it around. I just travel with 1/3 water. This is my restroom. Sign says restroom 50 miles away, and I know I can't make it. Pull over the side of the road, go pee. Okay? If I know I'm going to go boondocking, then I fill it up. Unless you did the mistake at Lake Tahoe and you didn't get to get water and you had to go to Walmart and buy 41 gallons of container of water and pour it in. Okay? This is your city water connection here. I recommend you get a little 45 for it. I'll show you a picture of what one looks like inside. You get one here, put one there for your black tank flush. Leave them there, travel with them. The reason I'm telling you to do that is because the more times you keep making connections to this thing, they leak and go bad.
Okay.
Then you have to come back here and replace the whole thing.
You're talking about just a little brass fitting that's at an elbow?
Goofy people tell you they put all kinds of things in here. Mothballs, dryer sheets, everything to keep bugs and spiders out. The only thing I find really works, open it up every once in a while and see if anybody's home. If they're home, get them out. Okay? Mothballs and dryer sheets, how long do you think they're going to smell outside? Not very long. Okay? Your 30 amp cord is here. I would recommend you get a surge protector. I'm not saying you have to get one. but I would get a surge protector. The reason I recommend surge protectors is because I lived in a fifth wheel next door. We got a really big power surge and it took out 6 of us. All expensive stuff.
Now, does that go on that end?
Yes, it goes on that end. It has a female end and a male end on it. So you'll plug into the female end to it and the male end plugs into the box, okay? You'll also see that they might want to try and sell you a Camping World or all those other places. There's a lock that locks your cord to your surge protector.
Right.
You don't need one of those. Because the people that are going to take it want the whole cord.
Right.
They want copper. They're going to unplug it, cut the cord, off they go. It's happened. Okay? I'm not saying it won't. I'm not saying it when it will. Just saying it's happened. Good thing you had the lock on the surge protector. Maybe they'll leave the surge protector and take the thing. Maybe they'll be lucky and take that. You know what I mean?
They'll get some lead. Question. I noticed they've got converters that they go from 30 amp to 50 amp that you can buy.
You can get a dog bone, yes.
Yeah, is that what that's called?
It's called a dog bone.
That makes sense. That's for if they only
If you went somewheres and they only had 50 amps,
okay,
then you can use the dog bone to go to 50.
It's recommended to get one of those just in case.
Just in case, yep.
Right. But I don't need to go the other direction.
No.
Okay, so just
but you have the adapter in your starter kit to take it from 30 to regular household plug.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
We'll talk about that inside.
that's
Okay. All right.
wonderful.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that inside because there's a trick to doing that.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Outside shower here. Nothing fancy with outside shower.
Takes the black key.
Okay. We'll talk about this. This is your black tank flush. We'll talk about it after we go to the black and gray tank. This is the gray tank. This is the black tank. I don't think I need to explain black and gray to you, but I think you might enjoy this one. The scenario you use, you'll have to get a longer hose. RV with the 90, RV parks want you to have the 90. The scenario you use when you pull into an RV park and you're going to be here for a week. When you pull in on Saturday, you can open up your gray water for 3 or 4 days because you always shower more than you poop. You can open your gray water for 3 or 4 days. Come Thursday, we close the gray water tank. We're going to save gray water all day Thursday and all day Friday. Because Saturday morning when you're ready to leave, you're going to open the black tank first. Poop goes out. Then you use that gray water to rinse your hose out. But because you have a black tank flush, what you can do is you can get a clear end here so you can see what's coming out.
Right.
So when you dump your black tank, you can hook a hose up to here, close the black tank, build up a little bit of water, open it up, see if it's clear.
Now, is that just a straight line going in, or does it have directional?
It's got a little sprayer that goes in there.
Okay.
Okay, it goes, sprays around. Okay? But you can close the black tank, build up a little bit of water, open it up, see what it looks like. Comes out nice and clear, you're good. Then use that gray water to rinse your hose out.
Flush out the hose.
Okay, your still gray water is still cleaner than the other stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay?
It's usually pretty soapy too.
Yes, but it's also cleaner. Doesn't smell quite as bad either. All right? If you're going to do long weekends, just weekends, leave black and gray both closed. We never leave black tank ever open.
Right.
Black tank is a big flat tank that goes from one side of your coach to the other. It's only about this deep. There's not enough water in that potty to get it out that big flat tank and get it out that slinky looking hose. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
All right?
Build it up so you
Gotta build it up.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yep.
After you dump your black water tank, you're always going to put your black tank flush on for a little bit. After you're nice and clean, put it on for a little bit because we always want a little bit of water in the black tank at all times.
Okay.
We never want to leave black tank completely dry because if you leave it completely dry, then it will turn into the pyramids of Egypt with things sticking up.
Okay.
So we always have a little bit of water in there, so whatever goes in there always hits a little bit of water.
Gotcha. Makes
And
sense.
never sticks to the bottom.
Makes sense.
All right? Does that make sense for you? Cable or satellite any. RV parks are listed this way. Full hookup means water, sewer, and electric. If it just says water and electric, then you'll have to hold everything and take it to a dump station and dump it. Okay? Cable is always optional. Most of your RV parks don't have cable, but it's always optional. It'll say cable. And you will supply the cable too. So you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get a 25-foot piece of coax. Okay? And get one of those quick disconnects.
Yeah.
So you're not going.
Is there any way to transfer this to the bottom side?
Not really.
No. Because I
Why,
was
you want to
thinking
put a
about.
bike rack?
Well, I was
Yeah, something of that
I got
sort.
a couple things going on, and another thing was is how much weight this can hold, because I've also got a platform that I get a receiver. It hooks to here and put a platform on the back.
You can hold quite a bit of weight on it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what the number is, but you can hold quite a bit of weight on it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Good to know.
Put your spare tire in the truck or something.
Also, I don't know if you're going to get to it or not, but there's more than one low point drain spot in here.
The one you really want to play with is the one over there. The other ones are for winterization. If you're not going to winterize, don't mess with them. All they do is drain your lines.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
The only one you really want to play with is the one over there by your tank. That drains your freshwater tank. The other one drains your lines.
Yeah, because
if you're not going to winterize, don't mean to mess with it.
We're here in Florida. We
Right.
really don't need to
our tow
winterize,
vehicle
right?
Is right at the limit of what it can pull. So we will be emptying the freshwater tank every time.
Just carry that 1/3. That way it's always 10 gallons.
Right.
Not going to kill you.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What? 30 pounds?
Yeah. What is it? 2.6
It's
pounds?
no, it's 8
4
pounds.
pounds, 8
I
pounds
thought
per
it was
gallon.
8 pounds a gallon.
No,
So
that sounds a lot.
Yeah, I think it's about 6 or 8
Yeah,
pounds
that's what I
a
read.
gallon. But I'd still carry the third one.
Right.
I'd still carry the 1/3
We'll figure it
just
out.
in case.
Just in case you're stuck.
You never know.
yeah. Yep.
You know?
Okay.
You never know. You've also got a port there for your gas grill if you want. It's a quick disconnect. See it?
Oh, see, now he mentioned that I didn't know it was already pre-wired. Nice.
I thought so. That's what I was telling you. I thought I saw that.
Okay, that's cool.
In here is no more than the backside of your water heater. Nothing fancy.
Okay.
It's all electronic ignition. Don't need to mess with it. Remember the brains we were talking about?
Yep.
That's the brains that wants to be happy.
Okay, so if it does go to gas, do you need?
You turn. No, you're deciding which way you want. It's inside.
But you don't have to come out here to
You
light
don't
the
have to do
pilot?
anything with it.
Okay, it'll automatically
It's
light.
all electronic ignition.
Okay. Do I need one of the cages?
You can get one of those screens for it if you want. You don't really have to. This one's kind of a touchy thing.
Or it could be like the refrigerator one, just open it every once in a while
Right,
and get
right.
rid of what's in it. Okay.
Right.
Because
I don't have one on
I
mine.
I
I have
saw
one on my
somebody
furnace
put
because I
one.
don't use my furnace as often.
Right.
I'm using my water heater more often.
Okay.
Okay, they're not going to go in there when it comes on.
Right.
Oh,
You know?
that's true.
Whoa! Hey, this was hot in here. But you don't turn your furnace on until it's cold. So the mud daubers are out looking for a place to go in the summertime, and
Right.
hey, that's looking a nice house. Okay? We can't pull your awning all the way out, but we'll explain it.
What?
If your awning is all the way out, put your hand here and pull down on the awning. That will slide this arm back up in,
Okay.
and you can tilt your awning.
Okay.
Tighten up the
I
knob.
was wondering if because you don't want it to go straight out.
You can. It won't matter. This is different than what you've had before. This is electric awning.
Right.
This, if it gets too much rain, it will dump it by the hydraulics here.
Oh, okay.
You can tilt it if you want. Put your hand here, pull down, and push will put it back up.
I heard stories of people who leave it level and it ripped it off because of the way
It can too. It can too. But you can
wanna
tilt.
have
You can
some
tilt it
type
if you want.
wanna have
If you're
some
going
type
to, if you're going to tilt it, always give it back to the neutral position to close it back up.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll roll up cockeyed.
Okay. So
All
just
right.
make sure that this is loose.
Loose before it goes back to normal.
Gotcha.
This is for your brain. If you're camping somewheres and you're going to go to Busch Gardens for the day and you're going to leave, before you leave, close the awning back up. This is Florida.
Yeah.
We get those goofy rains and winds that come up and they just show up.
Yeah.
Just close it back up. We don't want to have your awning on the other side.
Exactly.
You've also got an electric switch inside here. If you want to put it up while you're getting heavy rains, you can. Just push the switch, it comes back up, right?
Yeah, that's what I was showing you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense for
Yes,
you?
absolutely.
The problem is people are scared to death to touch their awning. Oh God, it's raining out. It's going to get everything wet there. Well, it's outside. Don't worry about it. It's going to get wet no matter what.
Yeah.
This is Florida,
Your mat's gonna get wet.
okay?
Yeah.
Big deal, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
put anything outside you don't want to get wet. It's kind of how I look at it, okay?
Yep.
Does that make sense for you?
Absolutely.
Refrigerator.
Beer cooler.
No 110, no refrigerator.
Okay.
If you're going to break this down, okay, to 15 to a regular household plug like I was telling you about inside, okay, always disconnect the power, just pull the cord. If you're going to be at your house and you want to break this thing down to 15 to a 20 amp plug,
Okay.
unplug this one,
Okay.
okay? Don't use it. Because you can run your air conditioner if you do that.
Ah.
And I'll tell you why. Okay?
You can run the AC on a 110 plug.
20 amp plug.
On a 20 amp plug.
Breaker.
A regular.
That's so
plug.
exciting.
Yeah, because I was gonna put in a 30 amp.
You can do this,
connector.
I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
If you're going to break it down to 20 amps, it's
Right.
got to be a 20 amp breaker.
Okay.
If it's not a 20 amp breaker, can't do it.
Okay. So
15's tight.
So if I'm gonna add a 20 amp breaker,
No, you mostly already have a 20 amp breaker.
well, I'm gonna add something separate just for this thing. If
Okay,
I'm gonna have
then
that in the
you-
house, I may as well just put in
Put
a
a
30
30
amp and plug
Be
it
done
in the
with
whole thing, and I won't have to worry about that.
But this is for your brain if you're boondocking.
Okay, right.
Okay, and we'll talk about it inside.
Oh, okay.
All right, because there's different things you have to do inside.
Okay.
But if you're going to break it down to 20 amps, if you go to Uncle Waldo's house,
Right.
unplug your refrigerator.
Well,
Yeah, you didn't know you had an Uncle Waldo.
I didn't.
You do now.
Dad's got lots of splaining to do. Okay.
110 plugs here. Okay? One more 110 plugs. This is your cranks. We'll explain your hitch when we get there. Your crank for your stabilizers.
Right.
And this is the crank for the manual labor if you had to do the front jack manual
Okay.
labor. RVs entertain 6, dinner for 4, sleep 2. We don't tell anybody we have beds. Even people that say that, and I just make a joke of it.
Yeah.
People say, well, we have kids. I says, leave peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the refrigerator and milk, and tell them mom and dad will be back in a weekend. Okay?
I like that.
Just trying to make fun of everything.
Yeah, I know.
This down here is your souvenir. If your coach is burning, take it with you. Okay?
It's not gonna
Not gonna take much good. Just take it with you. Okay? That down there is your LP detector. With LP, I tell everybody this. If you're using propane from your cooktop stove or your furnace or your water heater and you smell propane, it smells like rotten eggs while you're using something, doesn't mean there's a problem.
Right.
It means you're getting low on your tank. The stink is always added to propane. As it gets lower and lower in the bottom of the tank, it pulls more and more of the stinky stuff off from the bottom. It gets very pungent when it gets towards the bottom of the tank, so that thing can go off for that. The other thing that set off an LP detector is anything in an aerosol can. The last ingredient in any aerosol can is LP. So if you're using WD-40, carpet cleaner, bug spray, hairspray, smelly stuff for your RV, and this thing happens to go off before you go screaming out of your coach, think about what you just used.
Okay.
The reason people don't think of it is they do not add the stink to it. Nobody wants to use hairspray that smells like LP.
Right.
Okay? This is also the reason why you're going to disconnect the house battery when putting it in storage. This is on 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Can't turn it off. If you do not disconnect the battery in 1 week, that will kill it.
Okay.
Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
We'll start off up here. You got light switches here, and just because a light is not working, there's some outside ones, just because a light is not working doesn't mean it's not working, because there's always more than one way to turn it off. Okay? Your awning control is up here, in or out. This is your water pump switch. Your water pump is on demand. If you're going to go boondocking on your own, you need your water pump switch on. If you're not boondocking and you have city water hooked up to it, water pump off. We only have water pump on while boondocking. Okay?
Yep.
Does that make sense? This is the gas side of your water heater. This is the electric side of the water heater. You can leave both of them on together. The electric doesn't know the gas is there. The gas doesn't know the electric's there. They're completely 100% independent from each other. They don't even know each other's there. Okay? You can leave both on together, you'll get faster recovery.
Okay.
If you have 30 amps.
But it won't try to use both systems.
Yes, it will. Both will come on at the same time.
Okay.
The electric will come on and the gas will light. So you got both things trying to light your hot water heater. Get your hot water hot.
Okay.
So you get faster recovery.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You've also got a little tiny light here in the center between the two of them, right here. See it?
Yeah.
A little tiny dot there.
Mm-hmm.
This is for the gas side of the water heater. Both the gas side of the water heater and the refrigerator work the same way on gas. They go through 3 times to light. If they do not light on the 3rd time, the little light lights up saying, "Hi, I have no idea what to do." Turn it off, count to 5, reset the brains, start all over again. As long as that little red light in the middle is not on, it's working fine. This will light up when you had to switch your tanks and you've run out of propane. Okay?
Okay.
What I always tell people to do if you've run out of propane and you have to switch your tanks, always light gas cooktop stove first. Get that little pocket of air out.
Yeah.
Purge the system. Light gas cooktop stove first, then turn the gas side of the water heater on. Because what your water heater and your refrigerator are both doing on the 3 times is they just send out a little poof of propane going, woof! No, I didn't light. Woof! No, I didn't light. Woof! I don't know what to do.
So if you've got that air pocket,
Then it'll usually go on the second woof. Okay? Does that make sense for you?
Yep.
All right. You've also can check your battery condition is fully charged up here. See the little red lights?
Yep.
You can check your fresh water is empty. You can check your black water. You can check your gray water. I'm going to give you a real story about these things. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They're not the most accurate things in the world.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
The reason they're not so accurate is this is what a probe looks like. It sticks in your tank. There's 4 of them. As you can see, it's a little tiny screw. You get a little piece of poop, a little piece of paper towel, a little piece of grease, a little piece of anything stuck to this thing. They don't work.
Right.
Mine don't work. I don't expect yours to work. Nobody else's works.
Okay.
You can put all the chemicals in the world in there to make them work. Today they do, tomorrow they don't. If you're a first timer on it, or if you want to play you're a first timer, you can always go to your neighbor and say, hey, we were wondering if your black and gray tank probes work. Did they read right for you? I don't think mine work. No.
Yeah.
It's a good icebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay? Nobody else works either. Learn to ignore them. What I always tell people to do is if you're using your sink or shower and it backs up in your sink or shower,
It's time to
too
end.
much gray water. If you flush your potty and it goes burp, pocket of air comes back up, and then poop goes down, too much black water. What's happened is you have a vent, just like your house, you have a vent on the roof. You filled up the vent all the way to the top of that black tank. The only place for it to get air is through the potty. If this happens at 3 in the morning, don't get up crazy and go dump your black tank. Wait until the morning. Okay? My wife made me do that. Hey, black tank's full. What? It's full. You gotta go empty it. It'll be fine till the morning. No, go empty now. Might be close enough. Go back to bed. In the automatic setting, it will always look for electricity first. If it does not find electricity, it will automatically switch over to gas, just like that. Okay? If it's flashing, means it didn't light, just like the water heater. If it's on orange, means it's working fine. Okay?
Okay.
Let's say we went to Uncle Waldo's house. You didn't back to your Uncle Waldo again. You want to break this unit all the way down to regular household plug. Okay? As long as he has a 20 amp breaker, you can do this. What you would do is you would turn the electric side of that water heater off and use gas only. Okay? You're going to come over to your refrigerator and switch it from auto to manually on gas. The reason you're doing that, the electric side of that water heater draws 10 amps. The electric side of the refrigerator draws 4. You save 14 amps. If you have a 20 amp breaker, you can run that air conditioner. Because we got to save about 4 amps for your converter down here. Okay? If you want to know how many amps you're using on things, it's just a general idea in your brain. If you have a hair dryer and your hair dryer says 1500 watts, drop the zeros off. That's how many amps you're using. So anytime you see watts, drop the zeros off.
This is why when we were using those 2 space heaters,
You were popping the breaker.
Popping the breakers.
Because you got too many watts.
Too many watts pulling
And amps.
2 of them.
Right. So anytime you see the word watts, drop the zeros off. That's how many amps you're using.
Okay.
It's not the exact number, but it's real close.
Gotcha.
You also might want to go to Camping World and go get those spring-loaded little curtain rods they sell. They go between each shelf. Okay? It helps hold the food in.
Right.
Otherwise, you might open the door and there's pickle juice on the floor. This thing takes 12 hours to cool down. So if you're going to put this in storage and not use it, always come out. Let's say we're going to leave on Saturday. Friday night, you're going to come out to your unit, hook up your battery, turn on your propane. Remember, light cooktop stove first, then turn your refrigerator on. You can put it in the auto setting, okay?
Right.
It'll go for electricity, but if you want to really cool it down quickly, put it over the gas side, it'll cool down quicker. But it still takes about 12 hours.
How long does it take to warm up? Like if we're going on a trip,
We don't
bring
want
it to the house, flip it over on gas the night before, will it be, you said
12 hours.
12 hours? Okay.
And then if we turn
Then we
the
can
gas
order.
off, because
Always
we don't
light
want
cooktop
to,
stove first.
so we don't want to travel with gas
Yeah,
on,
you do. You want
right?
to travel with your gas on, because your
Yeah.
refrigerator's on. Okay?
That's not dangerous.
Well, they were talking about.
That's all right.
Stop reading
That's
all those people.
Yes,
Well,
don't
they
tell
say
them that.
If you get into a,
You're traveling with a bomb no matter what. Okay?
There you go.
Propane tank is a bomb. But to give you an example of how safe it, for the most part, it is, okay? I did propane work back home in Connecticut. I used to have a license to install it. I make a joke that I had a license to blow myself up once. Couldn't do it twice.
Right.
Okay? We had a big 100-pounder tank. Big monster thing. He held 100 gallons of propane. These only holds 7 gallons.
Those are the big 7s. The smaller ones are 4. Right?
Smaller ones are 4.
Yeah.
But we're talking a great big monster
Okay,
one you
so-
can't hug.
Right.
We had one fall off a truck. Wasn't my truck. Nothing happened to it. All it did was dent the roof, dent the top.
Right.
Okay? The other thing of beauty about propane, just for your brain, so you feel a little safer. The only thing you have for propane is those 2 tanks. It's not like natural gas, where it keeps coming.
Right.
You only have so much, and that's it. Okay? I've seen videos of it. Does that make sense for you?
Mm-hmm.
Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Leave your propane on so your refrigerator's on. Okay?
Okay.
It's safe.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
These little things here in your refrigerator, these are not for locks. They are for storage. That's all they're for. So when you're storing your unit, it keeps the door open.
Ah,
Okay?
gotcha.
Does that make sense for you on the refrigerator now?
Yep.
So we need to keep the door open when we store it.
Your cooktop lights by just turning your sparker. Any combination you want. Okay? Oven, manual labor. This requires 2 hands. You put the oven in the pilot position. Take your glasses off. Reach down there and light your pilot light. See it?
Okay. We can help.
You have to hold your button in to light the pilot light.
Okay.
This button.
Here. Okay.
You have to hold the button in to light your pilot light. After your pilot light is lit, you hold this button in for about 10-15 seconds. What you're doing is you're warming up a thermocouple. The thermocouple above it has 2 metals that don't like each other. They generate electricity by heat. It takes about 15 to 20 seconds to get the right amount of electricity. Gas valve saying, "Hey, I see flame." After that time, you can turn it off and turn it to every temperature you like. Voila. You've got flame.
Gotcha.
Every time you turn it off, pilot light goes out. A little trick for your oven. You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get a 10 by 10 ceramic floor tile. Place it right here on this metal tray. It'll make it heat a little more evenly.
Okay.
Can't
That's
travel it in there. It'll be a lot smaller by the time you get somewhere. What I always tell people to do, you always have a dish towel here. Take a dish towel, wrap it back up in ceramic floor towel, and put it back in. Do not light the oven with the dish towel in there.
Okay. So a longer lighter would help
Right.
also.
I use the short one because I had a longer one in my pocket and I bend down and go, now I got 2 pieces, so I carry this so I can do it. And I don't break it. Okay? This is your converter. You're going to hear a little fan come on from time to time. This is the thing that's charging your house batteries. Okay? Your 110 breakers and 12-volt fuses are in here. Before you panic checking your 110 breaker, always check that GFI plug. If it's red, it's popped.
Gotcha.
A little red light up there. Okay?
Oh, it's got
a red light on the GFI plug.
Okay.
If
That's
it's
good to
red,
know.
means it popped.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
But always check that first. And if you've checked your breakers, always turn them all the way off and turn them all the way back on. Just because it doesn't look like it's popped doesn't mean it isn't.
Right.
Okay? In order to flush your potty all the way down, in order to add water to your potty, halfway down. Okay? After you dump your black water tank, remember what you're going to do? You're going to put a little bit of water in the black tank at all times. Have your black tank flush. We never leave black tank completely dry because we don't want to turn it into the pyramids of Egypt. Remember?
Right. Yep.
Toilet paper. You can use any kind of toilet paper you like. You do not necessarily have to use the expensive kind of toilet paper. They all break down. Okay? Chemical for your toilet. What I look for, one that says enzymes in it. Little guys that like to eat poop. That's their whole job in life. That's all they do.
Now, will Ridex work?
It'll work, but it'll smell horrible.
Okay.
Those little guys are really doing a good job.
Okay.
Okay? And there's no deodorant in it. So I tried it. Didn't like it.
So get the tablets.
Get those little tablets or the little look like pods now.
Yep.
throw one in the potty. After you've dumped your black water,
Every time it's dumped, throw one in. Okay.
but put that little bit of water in the bottom of it, so it's even when you're traveling, so it's never dry.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Remember, you're carrying a little bit of water everywhere. So
Right.
you can carry a little less water in your freshwater tank if you want.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
But I always have a little bit of water in the black tank. A little trick for you while traveling down the road: when you pull into a gas station and get fuel, walk in and get a couple bags of ice. Break them up, throw them in the potty, flush them down. They'll float around in that water and help break up anything that might be in the bottom of the tank.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Won't make your probes work any better, but won't be any pyramids stuck on the bottom of your tank.
Yeah, somebody had told me, because we had the same issue with our old camper, and somebody said if you get a directional nozzle and kind of wash it off, and it'll make it work better.
There's a chemical you can put in there.
Yeah.
Today it works. Tomorrow it may not. I can't tell you how many people, that's why I carry a probe with me. I can't tell you how many times that people have come in here, hey, my probes are not working. We clean them and they take them back home and they go, well, I just cleaned them. How come they're bad? Something popped up on it while you're driving down the road. Your shower's in here. You also might want to get one of those little squishy pillows that go in here. They're, I'll show you a picture of them. Those little squishy pillows look like fleecy lined, and they're just made for vents. You can get them at Camping World. These let a lot of heat in. Okay? So it's a little squishy pillow. I'll show you a picture of what it looks like.
Okay.
It's just a whisker bigger than this opening, and it stays up here.
Okay, you just stuff it up
Just
inside.
stuff it in there. Just a
Okay.
whisker bigger.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And it just stays there.
Now,
Okay?
the other skylight you don't have to worry
It's a double skylight, but this is not.
Okay.
Lets a lot of heat in.
Okay.
Okay? You got a plain old straightforward microwave, nothing fancy with your microwave, and even these are 12 volts, so they'll work even when you're boondocking. The only thing that will not work when you're boondocking: air conditioner, microwave, TV, which you don't have.
Right.
You'll get one. Your antenna's here. You do not have to worry about your antenna going up and down anymore. It's a little bat wing. So people are not going to be doing this to you anymore, saying your antenna's up.
Okay.
Okay? If they're using the other finger, they're telling you something totally different. Okay?
When you say bat wing, what is it?
Just a little bat wing antenna looks like this.
Okay.
Bat
And it stays up the whole
Stays-
time. So what
If you want to rotate it for better channels, just like you did your
okay.
antenna, but you just rotate it.
Alright.
You don't have to put it up and down anymore.
Okay, good.
Okay?
Gotcha.
This is a DVD player. If you
Oh,
hook
wait,
up
just
to it,
1 second. Do I need to make sure it's facing forward when we're traveling?
there's an arrow on it, but this one doesn't have one, so it doesn't make any difference which way it is.
Okay.
It doesn't make any difference. So that's an AM FM radio. A and B on your radio here. This is kind of goofy. A is inside and 1. B is 2 outside. So they should label them if you have speakers outside.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So 1 and A are inside. B and 2 are outside. They should. I don't know why they did A and B
You can have
and
them
put
both.
number 1s and 2s. I have no idea.
You can push them both. You can have them
Yeah, you
both
can have
on,
both of
right?
them on.
Okay.
Your TV antenna is up there. See that little green light?
Yep.
If you're hooked up to cable, green light off. If you're hooked up to this antenna, green light on. Cable that booster for that interferes with cable if you're hooked up to cable.
How do you? Is there
There's a little button right
okay,
next to it.
Right next to it. Okay.
There's a little black button right next to it.
Okay. So
Just push the button off, green light off. And you'll have to program your TV everywhere as you go. When you get your TV, you'll go through auto program and look for all your local channels.
And that has Bluetooth and MP3 stuff.
It also
and
has
stuff.
Bluetooth in it, yep.
DVD, okay.
What's the loop?
It's for the other TV in the bedroom.
Ah, okay. So
That's the
that
incoming and
just
it sends it to the other
just
place.
needs to stay right.
Just leave it right there.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
But you'll have to auto program your TV everywhere as you go, either for antenna or cable,
Okay.
for all the local channels
Okay.
in auto search.
Okay.
Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
Your air conditioning system is here. Cool is cool, heat is heat, fan is fan. You never turn your air conditioner below 68 degrees. If you go below 68 degrees, you can stand a chance of freezing up the A coil. If you freeze up the A coil, all you can do is turn it off and let it defrost itself. On either side of your air conditioner, those vents up there are washable. Okay?
Okay.
You've also got quick cool here in case you're really hot out. You can open this up and go, oh God, I feel much better. But otherwise you want to close it so it goes to your other vents.
Oh, nice.
Okay? The other thing I'll tell you what I do with my air conditioner is this. In the auto setting over here, every time the compressor goes on and off, the fan goes on and off. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What I do with my unit, I put it on fan on all the time. So regardless as to whether the compressor's on, the fan on the air conditioner stays on. The reason I do that, 2 reasons. 1, the more air I move all the time, the cooler I feel. The other reason, white noise. I don't hear the compressor come on and off. I also don't hear the neighbors. So I get used to that constant fan sound.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Your TV, your table turns into a bed. Pull it out a little bit, release the little button here, and pull. That's all it does. Okay? Did that make sense?
Yep.
That's all it takes. Okay?
And it'll flop all the way back
All the way
around.
down, and then you put it on here and
Yep.
make up a bed. Remember, don't tell anybody you have beds. Okay? I'll show you a few things you can get. These are the little leveling blocks you can get for leveling it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you level it side to side. They're little tiny, look like Legos, and it doesn't carry a lot of weight.
Right.
Okay? That's the little squishy pillow I was talking about. Okay? Just fits right up in that vent. Okay?
So where did you get that at?
Camping World.
Okay, so it's made for that exact
That's all it's
purpose.
made for it.
Okay.
It's only made for one thing.
All right.
Okay? That's what a mud diver screen looks like.
Right.
Okay?
They've got the round ones and the square ones,
Right.
correct?
You can get either one, but the round ones work fine.
That has the indention, though, right?
Has a little screen on it, has a little spring, everything in it.
Yeah.
It's got a little screen, looks just like that.
I think you have
Yep.
them in your store. over there.
Okay? We don't have one over there. You don't need to spray up Spider-Man. That was me. That's what a surge protector looks like. It's got a 30 amp female and a 30 amp male on it. If you're going to break it down to Uncle Waldo's house, always have this in the middle and use your adapter that's in there to take
Okay.
it to a regular household plug.
Gotcha.
Remember, you got to have a 20 amp breaker to make this work.
Right.
Okay? 15 amp is really tight.
Okay.
I've done it, but it's
Okay.
tight. Okay? We'll go back to that. You can go to Camping World and get one of these. This is called Oxygenetics. You can switch that head out inside there, or the hose, or any combination you like, and put one of these in. You'll get a much better shower and longer shower. You will like it.
Does this have the shut off to it? Because I know that one
It has a
does.
shut off on it.
Okay, because
Comes with it. It sucks air in from the center and increases your pressure. I have a 10-gallon water heater. I used to be able to take a 10-minute shower. All I did was switch this head out. I could take a 20-minute shower. And it's not one of those showers you're going, am I getting wet?
you don't got to dance around and get wet.
Yeah, you'll like it. Okay?
Cool.
All right. Good to know.
This is the 45s I was telling you about.
Okay.
Okay? You want to get 2 of those.
Okay.
We're going backwards here, and I'm going to show you this, what I carry. I carry one of these. This is a whole house filter. All right?
Mm-hmm.
What I carry is one of these whole house filters instead of those inline filters like you can buy from Camping World. And
The
you don't know
blue
when they're bad.
The light blue one, right?
Yeah, you don't know when they're bad.
Okay.
The only way you know they're bad is if you turn the water on and go, not much water coming out. Okay?
Okay.
The reason I carry one of these, I've been to RV parks, and in 1 week this is full of rust. And I like it because it's clear.
Okay.
How do I use it? What you can do is go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy one of these. While you're there, you're going to buy a few other things. Okay? And I'll draw you a picture of how to do it.
Okay.
You're going to convert this from their hose fitting, from the pipe fittings, to get 2 garden hose fittings.
Okay.
Okay? So you understand, male and a female in. You just go to the plumbing section and there's screw in. It just screws in.
Screws in so you can
Have a male and a female in.
Okay.
Okay?
Now is this a general household filter? Okay.
You can get this at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Gotcha.
Okay? The reason I like it also, because I can see in it, and I can get those filters at Home Depot, Lowe's, or Walmart even, the inside filters. What you want to wash your rubber roof with is Dawn soap or Spick and Span. No bleach.
Okay.
You want to check your seals on your roof once a year, and you want to use Dicor. It's
Rubber
called
roof.
Dicor, and you can get it at Camping World. It comes in a great big long tube, looks like a caulking gun. If you find your seals are cracked, put some Dicor around it. It's self-leveling, but you can also get one of those 99-cent paint brushes. After you've made a nice bead, just go over it and make it look nice and pretty.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you need to pull the old stuff off first?
You can put a cover over top of it. Okay?
Yep.
I don't want you to ruin the rubber roof. Just put a nice little thin coat. That's why we're using the...
What about like cool seal?
Nope, Dicor.
What I'm talking about, the whole roof.
You can do that too. There's other kinds of things, but, you know.
Yeah. But you know what
You
I
got a
mean by
10-year guarantee.
painting the whole roof.
Yeah, you got a whole 10-year guarantee or more.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You want to grease your wheels on the sides at least once a year. You pull that little rubber cap off, it's got a grease fitting.
A little buddy bearings.
Either once a year or once every 6 months if you're doing a lot of traveling.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense for you?
Yep.
If you're, this is for your brain. I don't know whether you're planning on traveling up north. You're running on low on battery?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get this quick. Download the app to your cell phone called Copilot RV. The reason you want to travel with Copilot RV is because it's the only app you want to travel with for GPS. All the other GPS programs that are traveling, especially up north, only have one major flaw with it. They think you're a car, a truck, or a bus. You're an RV. Different rules and regulations for you because you have propane. There are places in the country, especially in the Northeast, you can't go to.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Okay.
Got it.
Give you an example. I was going back home to Connecticut. My wife is very anal, and we were going to follow streets and trips whether I like it or not. It took me to a tunnel in D.C. The tunnel in D.C. at 5 o'clock in the evening said no propane. I had to get off my exit. When I got off my exit, my GPS kept telling me, turn around, turn around, turn around. Had no idea how to get around there. Recalculating. Turn around. Had no idea how to get me out of there.
Yeah.
So we went to Camping World and bought Copilot motor on a laptop. You can now get it on your phone. It's
Okay.
about $49, but it's called Copilot RV.
Okay.
Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
Another quickie story about that. I was doing a demo for somebody else like this, and they says, oh yeah, we found that out the hard way. We were trying to go see the Statue of Liberty. We got a police escort out of there. They were trying to go through the Holland Tunnel. Can't go in the Holland Tunnel with propane. Before you back up, this comes off. This is your sway control.
Right. Not just loosen it.
Take it off.
Okay.
So when you're in your RV park and you're saying hello, registering, take this off. Okay? What it is, it's just like a brake shoe on either side, and it squeezes onto it and
Looks
takes some of
like
the.
one I have.
Okay?
So, yeah.
If you can't reach, if it doesn't fit, just loosen it up. You want to tighten it up.
Right.
And always have it sitting level like this. If this arm is up, it's going to hit here.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yep.
I'm assuming you know how to get on and off your ball.
Yep.
You will get on and off your ball every time first. Either to take these bars on or put the bars off. One or the other. Either off or on.
Yep.
Got to hook up to the ball first. Okay?
Okay.
So you hook up to your ball and put your foot down, and you're going to raise the truck and the camper together. Always. Either to put the bars on or take them off. The higher you go, the easier this is to do. Okay?
What's the life expectancy on the jack?
Depends on how much you use it, I guess. You'll pull your pin out. Okay? Always do this off to one side, never do it straight on. We don't want to hurt the crown jewels. Okay? And pull it down. Always remember you have two hanging. They're always hanging loose like this and hook it here.
Okay.
Okay? And then pull your bar all the way out. It's got a little notch that it doesn't go through. And take the bar out. So you would do that to both sides.
Right.
Okay? Then go back down, release your ball, go back up to get off your ball.
Okay.
All right? Just like you would normally.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to make you put it back in.
Two hanging.
Two hanging loose, and use your bar. And before you put the pin in, I'm going to show you why you want to go up high. Wrong switch.
It's loose because we got it way up in
Right,
here.
take the weight off. Now try it.
Okay.
You have more tension on it. It's a lot stiffer. Okay? So that's why the going up higher does that. See what it feels like now. Okay? That's why the higher you will go, the easier it is to do it.
Gotcha.
Okay? Does that make sense for you?
Yep.
So you'll take both bars off, undo your chains, and undo your breakaway switch. Your breakaway switch works this way. I like to call it, hey, that looks a lot like our camper going by us.
It looks like that kryptonite.
Pull it out. Okay? This has always got to be in, because as soon as you pull it out, the trailer brakes are on. Okay?
Okay.
But remember, you have your own battery here. You can put that anywhere you want. What you want to do with this is pull it out. You're going to make a loop through where your chain is. Okay? Put it back in. And then put it back in. It only goes in one way. Either goes this way or the other way. But it doesn't go this way. Okay? And just put it back in.
And this until it snaps.
Okay? That's all it takes to do it. Okay? That's all it is. What these are is this is your sway control, but these are your weight distribution bars. They're spring loaded. What they do is they take weight off your truck and put it back onto this. Okay? And they're designed to do that. Okay? You can extend your foot down a little farther. You can pull that pin out if you have to go higher to get it off. Pull that little pin out of the foot.
Putting a wheel on there?
No.
Not a good idea.
No, just the foot's fine.
Because you can't. It's not like you're going to be moving it around.
You're definitely not moving it. Only things like that get wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, this is way too heavy. You're not moving it.
Yeah.
But you can pull that pin out and extend that foot. Okay?
Shocks on here.
You can put airbags in there. That'll be fine.
The bags or the shocks?
Airbags, you're going to get 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
You'll gain 1,000 pounds.
With the airbags, they go inside the
Right.
the coils.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
So okay.
You'll gain 1,000 pounds with that.
Okay. So I may do
Air
that.
shocks don't gain you much.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything for towing capacity. I'm just worried about the what you were to the porpoising and stuff like that.
So if you want to get the airbags, you certainly can.
Yeah. Okay.
All right? Put the airbags in it. And then you can put pressure in about 40, 50 pounds in it.
I just want to take just whatever little bit of squat I got, take it out, and you were talking about
The airbag, like I said, will gain
porpoising.
you 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
It's normal. Okay? To set your brake up, we're going to push here, and I'm going to turn your knob up till we get to 6.0. That's about where you want to be.
Okay.
Okay? Remember, if your trailer is doing this, even though you have the sway control, if it's doing this, and you want to stop it, just push the brake in a little bit, it'll put the brakes on. Okay, right now, because it's set at 6.0, I'm holding it in, your brakes are on. We're not going anywhere. If I let go, we're moving.
Now, can you use that as like an emergency brake?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
Okay?
When I'm going down the road, if I'm okay.
Like I said, this other little button on the top takes it from 6.1 to 6.2 to 6.3 and makes it more aggressive.
If we're up in the mountains.
Right.
Or
The only high thing we have here in Florida is the Sunshine Skyway.
Right.
You don't need it for that. Okay? Always watch your trailer as you're moving around, because your trailer is going to come back quicker than you do. That's why I'm watching my sides and my things. Always, when you're backing up, always learn to use the palm of your wheel. Do not do the hand over hand, forward or backwards, because you can correct quicker. All right? If you put your hand on the bottom of the steering wheel, you want the camper to go left, it'll go left. You want it to go right, it'll go right. If you put your hand on the top of the steering wheel, you have to turn the opposite.
Right.
Okay?
Ooh,
But always learn to palm your wheel, because you can turn quicker.
that is a good
The
tip.
other thing I'll tell you about is if you have a choice of 2 left turn lanes, an inside one and outside one, always take the outside one so you can make a bigger sweep. The inside one's going to be too tight. Always take the outside. And like I said, when you turn corners, watch your camper, because it's going to come around shorter than you do. Okay? this all make sense for you?
Yes, absolutely.
This is your truck. This is your RV. You didn't know your cell phone's a truck. This is your RV spot. What you want to do is pull up a couple feet close to it. Not over here.
All right.
2 or 3 feet away from it. My fingers are in the middle of my RV. When my middle of my RV gets to the middle of my sight, I start pulling away. When the tail end of my RV gets to the middle of the sight, I'm still pulling away, but I'm turning back this way. So the tail end of my RV is right near the end of my sight. If I'm sitting a little bit as a V like this, when I go to back up, it'll push it right in. If I'm sitting perfectly straight by this, by the time I get this to go, I've missed my spot. So that little bit of V, sitting like that, will work every time.
So in towards it,
Make an
back
S.
out, make it
In, out,
make an S.
and S.
All right.
Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.